When we look back through history, every major change in humanity, every turning point in a person's destiny, never arrived suddenly without a sign. God never shifts something in our lives without first whispering a warning, a reminder, or a gentle shake to the soul. Sometimes these signs come through unexpected emotional heaviness, sometimes through a sudden restlessness inside our heart that we cannot explain. Everything looks normal on the outside, yet something inside begins to feel different, as if the soul knows something is coming. This is not fear. This is divine preparation. God warns before He transforms. Before a blessing arrives, before a major door opens or closes, He increases spiritual sensitivity in those He has chosen. Suddenly, the heart becomes more observant, more alert. The smallest change in energy around us, the sudden silence of someone, a random sentence we hear, even a dream that refuses to leave our mind, everything starts feeling like a coded message. People often ignore these feelings, thinking life is simply moving. But when God is about to shift destiny, He doesn't speak through thunder for everyone. Instead, He speaks softly to the hearts of those who are meant to pay attention. A person may wake up one morning feeling a strange urge to clean their space, remove old things, cut ties with certain habits. They may not understand it, but the soul starts preparing before the body does. God's warnings are not always dramatic. Sometimes they come as a quiet feeling that says, something is changing, get ready. Our generation is quick to react to loud events, but divine signs are subtle. The world screams, but God whispers. That whisper is what separates those who are prepared from those who are caught off guard. As we approach a moment like what is symbolically referred to before 18 October, a time marked for change, divine energy becomes more intense. You may notice people around you behaving differently, certain conversations suddenly holding deeper meaning, or even nature shifting in unexpected ways. Nights may feel quieter, thoughts may feel louder. The soul begins to reflect, to question, to crave something higher. This restlessness is not punishment, it is a signal. When a butterfly is about to emerge, it feels pressure inside the cocoon. That pressure is necessary because without it, the wings will never gain strength. In the same way, when God warns, it is not to create anxiety, but to strengthen the heart for what is coming. Notice how sometimes you feel disconnected from things you once cared about deeply. That disconnection is not depression, it is redirection. God removes interest from what no longer serves your purpose. You may feel a sudden urge to step back, to analyze your life, to seek meaning. People around you might not understand it, but divine signs are personal, custom, designed for your soul's journey. When a change is near, God isolates before He elevates. Isolation itself is a sign. He removes noise so you can hear the message clearly. Many ignore this stage, trying to cling to old routines, old relationships, but when God warns, resistance only increases discomfort. There are also signs in timing. Doors that used to open easily may begin to close, not because you are failing, but because your season in that area is ending. Meanwhile, unexpected pauses appear, forcing you to slow down and observe. Most people see delays as negative, but delays are often divine warnings that say, if you rush now, you might miss something prepared for you. God's timing is never late, but His warnings always come early for those who are spiritually awake. If your heart has been feeling uneasy lately without a clear reason, it could be a divine nudge. Look closely at what repeatedly draws your attention, what conversation keeps coming back, what thought refuses to fade, what inner feeling keeps saying, something is about to shift. These are not coincidences. Everything in the spiritual world is intentional. God warns not only through events but through repetition. When a message repeats, it is not just a thought, it is a sign. Sometimes, before a major shift in life, the first thing that changes is not our surroundings but the hearts of people around us. Suddenly, the same faces we used to feel connected with start feeling distant. Conversations that once felt lively now feel empty. Some people who were once very close begin to step back without explanation, and new individuals start appearing unexpectedly as if guided into our story. This sudden change in relationships is not random. It is a divine realignment. When God prepares a person for a new chapter, He adjusts the circle around them first. Not everyone is allowed to walk with you into a destiny that wasn't written for them. Hearts begin to shift, not to hurt you, but to guide you toward the people who are meant to be part of your transformation. You may notice people losing interest in you without any logical reason. They stop replying the same way, they don't show the same excitement, and their energy begins to fade from your life. At first, this feels painful. The human heart naturally fears being detached, especially from those it once loved or trusted. But spiritually, this detachment is preparation. God doesn't remove people to create emptiness. He removes them to create space. Space for new connections, space for growth, space for the version of you that is emerging. When hearts change around you, it is a message. Your alignment is shifting, and not everyone can understand the new frequency you are stepping into. There will be moments when you question yourself, wondering if you did something wrong to push people away. But often, nothing is wrong, everything is simply rearranging. Hearts change because your energy is changing. Your destiny is calling you to a new level, and with each level comes a new environment. If the same people stayed, they might hold you back unconsciously because they only know the old version of you. Transformation requires emotional space, and that space sometimes comes through silent separation. Not all changes in hearts are negative. Some people will suddenly enter your life with pure intentions, offering support, clarity, or guidance. These people appear without you searching for them. They may come through a random interaction, a simple message, or a moment that feels too perfectly timed to be a coincidence. These souls are sent not to take but to align, to assist you in the phase you are stepping into. Before God blesses, He sends helpers. Before a major breakthrough, He sends connections that carry answers and energy that matches your next step. Notice how your own feelings about some people shift too. Someone you once tolerated easily now drains you emotionally. Your soul starts rejecting certain conversations, certain behaviors. It becomes difficult to stay in places where your spirit does not belong anymore. This inner shift is your intuition aligning with divine direction. Your heart starts guiding you silently, saying, "This person has completed their role in your life." And when the soul whispers that message, resisting it only creates emotional heaviness. Understanding this sign is important because many people get stuck trying to revive connections that God already ended spiritually. They keep chasing attention, forcing conversations, trying to keep things the way they used to be. But when hearts change before a destined shift, it is a sign to let go gracefully. Holding on to expired bonds delays the arrival of divine partnerships meant to lift your spirit higher. Before 18 October, as this symbolic turning point approaches, you may experience one or all of these emotional shifts. You may feel surrounded yet alone, connected yet detached. This is not loneliness, it is positioning. God is placing you exactly where you need to be, so the right energies can reach you without confusion. Sometimes the greatest loyalty you can have is towards your own calling, not to temporary attachments that no longer match your path. There is a mysterious moment that comes right before a major blessing or breakthrough. Life suddenly becomes heavier. Things that were working smoothly begin to face resistance. Plans get delayed, opportunities seem to pause, and unexpected obstacles appear out of nowhere. In such times, many people panic and think something is going wrong, but spiritually, this is one of the most powerful signs that transformation is near. Before something great is born, there is always a moment of pressure. Just like a seed must crack before it grows, the soul must go through a moment of breaking before it expands. This pressure shows up in different forms. Sometimes it is financial restrictions, sudden responsibilities, or emotional fatigue that feels too heavy to carry. Other times, it shows as silent frustration. You know something greater is calling you, yet life around you feels tight, like a door that is half open but not fully accessible. These are not signs of failure. They are divine signals that your current stage is closing. When God is about to shift your story, He often allows temporary chaos to break your attachment to comfort. Without that discomfort, the human heart would never move. Many people give up right at this moment because they mistake this pressure as a sign that they are off track. In reality, pressure before breakthrough is confirmation that you are exactly on the path meant for you. Think of it as a spiritual test. Will you trust even when you don't see results? Will you hold faith even when everything seems slow or blocked? Those who lose heart too early turn back just steps before the opening. Those who stay firm witness how quickly a delayed moment turns into accelerated blessing. There is also a deeper wisdom behind this stage. When blessings come too easily, they are not valued. But when you pass through a brief storm, your heart becomes more humble, more grateful, more ready to carry what you prayed for. God cannot place a big blessing into unstable hands, so He allows a phase where everything feels uncertain, not to punish you, but to strengthen your spiritual foundation. He is not delaying your blessing. He is preparing your capacity. This period feels like silence from the world, but loudness inside your mind. Your thoughts become intense. You may find yourself questioning everything, your purpose, your efforts, even your worth. But questioning is part of awakening. The soul only asks deep questions when it is near a shift. If you feel tired, if you feel something inside you saying, "I can't stay like this anymore," that is transformation speaking through you. It's not the end. It's the signal of a new beginning. Before 18 October, many will go through this phase without realizing it is a sign. They will think life is slowing down, but spiritually, life is gathering energy to launch forward. It is like an arrow. Before it is released powerfully, it must first be pulled backward. That backward pull is what gives it the force to fly. In the same way, what feels like life pulling you back is actually preparation to push you forward with greater speed and purpose. During this phase, do not speak negatively over your life. Do not say, everything is going wrong. Instead, silently acknowledge, everything is aligning, even if I don't see it yet. Because in divine timing, the darkest hour always comes before dawn, and when dawn arrives, the very things that felt heavy will suddenly make sense. There comes a moment in every spiritual journey when life quietly begins to demand purification, not of appearance, not of reputation, but of intention. Before God opens a new chapter, He invites the soul to check its motives. Why do you want what you want? Is your desire born from insecurity, comparison, or ego? Or is it born from purpose, sincerity, and truth? This inner questioning does not come randomly. It arrives like a gentle wave inside your heart, a sudden awareness that certain habits don't feel right anymore, certain conversations drain your spirit, and certain desires feel too shallow for the depth your soul is growing into. This shift is not guilt, it is alignment. It is God saying, if I am to bless you, I must first refine your intention so you don't lose yourself in the blessing. At this stage, you might find yourself withdrawing from noise. The urge to prove anything to anyone begins to fade. You start choosing silence over arguments, peace over reaction, depth over attention. The heart begins to detach from seeking approval. If someone understands you, good. If they don't, you stop feeling the need to explain yourself. This maturity is a sign of purification. When God is preparing you, He slowly removes ego from your desires. He teaches you that real dreams are not fueled by competition, they are fueled by calling. This purification also comes through small, internal corrections. You may speak a sentence and instantly feel, I shouldn't have said that. You may scroll through something and suddenly feel your spirit reject it. You may start deleting old chats, old pictures, old patterns that once entertained you, but now feel like distractions. This is not you becoming distant. This is your soul becoming selective. When purpose rises, distractions lose their charm. God purifies by making you uninterested in what once consumed your time. You will notice that your prayers change too. Instead of asking only for things, you begin asking for clarity, wisdom, and strength to carry what is meant for you. This shift in prayer reflects a purified heart. It is easy to desire blessings. It requires maturity to desire readiness. And when a heart desires readiness, God draws closer, because He does not respond to perfection. He responds to sincerity. Sometimes purification comes through unexpected correction. You might face a moment where a mirror is held in front of your spirit. Something triggers a reaction in you, revealing an emotion you didn't know still lived inside: jealousy, anger, pride, fear. Instead of this being a failure, it is actually a blessing. God reveals what still needs healing so you can enter the next phase with a clean heart. If He allowed you to move forward while those hidden intentions still existed, they might ruin the blessings ahead. So, He brings them to the surface not to shame you, but to cleanse you. As we approach the symbolic turning point before 18 October, this purification stage becomes extremely significant. You may feel a sudden pull to pray more, to speak truth more gently, to seek forgiveness, to return to moments of quiet connection with your Creator. You may feel an urge to cut off half-hearted effort and do things with sincerity or not at all. This is a sign that your soul is preparing to receive something bigger. God does not place sacred gifts into hands that are still shaky with ego. He waits until the heart says, I want this not just for me, but for the purpose you placed inside me. Even forgiveness plays a role here. Before elevation, God softens the heart, not so that people can hurt you again, but so that your soul is free from bitterness. A heart that carries resentment cannot carry divine light. So, if you feel a strange peace toward past situations, even ones that once hurt deeply, it means purification has begun. You are no longer attached to winning arguments. You are now focused on winning your peace. When purification is complete and the soul has passed through pressure without losing its hope, something extraordinary begins to happen. Doors start to open without warning. Opportunities appear where there were none, and people you never expected suddenly become carriers of destiny. These doors do not open through human effort alone. They open through divine alignment. At first, life feels quiet, almost too silent. Then, without noise or announcement, a moment arrives that changes everything. A message, a meeting, a single step that shifts the entire direction of your journey. That is how divine doors operate quietly, precisely, and in perfect timing. Up until this point, nothing seemed to move. Everything felt delayed. But destiny is not delayed. It is built quietly behind the scenes. Just like a seed grows roots in the dark before it breaks through the soil into light, your blessings were forming in silence while you were wondering if anything was happening at all. And when those roots are strong enough, the breakthrough happens almost instantly. People around you may call it sudden success, but you will know that it was a response to everything you endured when nothing made sense. Divine doors do not look like normal opportunities. They carry ease with them. What once required heavy effort begins to flow naturally. You speak less but achieve more. You do less but receive more. This is not magic. It is alignment. When you are no longer chasing from a place of desperation, life starts sending what matches your spirit. This flow is a sign that what is yours is finally arriving. It won't be forced, it will feel timed. You will look back and realize why God closed every other door, because this one was written with your name on it. But here's the deeper truth. Divine doors don't always look shiny at first. Sometimes they appear disguised as small chances, simple messages, or quiet beginnings. That's why a purified heart is necessary, because without inner clarity, one could overlook a destined moment thinking it is too small. Most people expect blessings to arrive with a loud announcement, but God operates differently. He tests if you can recognize greatness even when it arrives in humble form. Many rejected what was meant to bless them simply because they expected it to look grand immediately. As we move closer to the symbolic moment before 18 October, this opening of doors will not be chaotic. It will be precise. Lives that have gone through the shift of hearts, the pressure before breakthrough, and the purification of intention will begin to feel a different energy around them. A sense of movement, a quiet excitement without obvious reason. That feeling is often the first sign that a door is about to open. The soul knows before the mind does. That subtle rise of hope, returning after a long silence, is a divine sign that the season of waiting is ending. When this moment arrives, do not rush and do not shrink. Walk through the door with humility, but with certainty. Because hesitation can delay destiny just as much as arrogance can ruin it. Understand that this door did not open because of luck. It opened because your spirit matured enough to carry what is on the other side. The blessings ahead are not just rewards. They are responsibilities wrapped in grace.